Hi, my name is Anne Skar Nielsen. I'm a Danish futurist and partner of the futurist company Future Navigator based in Copenhagen. I'm delighted to speak here for EcoAge about the future of the consumer because I think that is a very interesting subject that should be of importance to all of us. So what do we as futurists believe that the world is coming to? We think that right now we are standing in the beginning of a paradigmatic shift that will last maybe for the next 70 or 60 years and has been ongoing for maybe 30 or 40 years. And this paradigmatic shift we call the movement from more to better. That means that success in the future will not be about more. It won't be about the quantifiable stuff such as selling a lot of stuff or having a huge business, having a lot of employees, having a lot of sales numbers or a lot of viewers. It will be about better. And that means that we have to get something better out of each other, something better out of nature, something better out of the resources of nature. We can all ask ourselves, what would we really like in life? Would we like to have more stuff or better stuff? Do we want to have more leaders or better leaders? Do we want more politicians or better politicians? Do we want to have more TV programs or better TV programs? But the movement from more to better requires, of course, that we don't just take our point of origin in what we already do and say that let's just make more of that. We need to challenge ourselves to think in better terms. We need to go from this Homo economicus, the rational being, going much more into Homo feel-goodicus, that there's a great value in just being a human being and not being this human doing that we have set society up to be now, that we need to produce, we need to grow, we need to move, and just say no, for the future, we all want to be these human beings. There's a value in being a human being, and we are all okay. From the beginning on, we are all okay, and we don't need to change. We just need to adapt and contribute in a better way to society so that it will be a place on earth that everybody can go into and be happy in. So what does that mean for the consumer? So if you take this from more to better, what we see for the next 10 years is that either the next 10 years will be a more decadent society. When we look back from 2050 towards the next period of time, then if we just continue with the more regimen, then people will say, well, this was a time deprived of value, there were no authorities, everything went as long as you just could sell it, then it was a good thing. So we would call it the decadent society. Lack of visions, it's just about giving me pleasure, giving me something, a unique feeling of feeling good. Or if we say that now we really need to challenge each other, we need to make stuff that is better, then I think that we will call this an era of constructive visions. And that means that people want to move in a better way. They want to follow companies and organizations and people who want to do something better. And you might not know what better is. That really doesn't matter. Just as long as you say to yourself, I just don't want to stay in the same more line, producing more and not feeling anything about what it is that I do. I want to have an emotional attachment. I want to be proud. I want to be skilled. I want to contribute to society. I want something more than just the quantifiable terms. And I want to give this to the world. Then we are moving in a more intelligent direction. And I truly believe that the world will become a more intelligent place. I think that we have reached the limits of individualism. We have reached the limit of what we can aspire to achieve alone, and in the next 50 to 60 years we will see the world come together in a much more collective way. We are social human beings. We want to be and contribute to each other. We don't wake up every morning and say, how can I get something out of life just for me? True, some people do that a lot. We all do it some part of the time, and I'm not aiming for 100% intelligence. I'll be happy with the 20% decadence and the 80% intelligence. But it means that we have to listen louder. We have to be much better at working together. We have to take criticism. We have to take provocativism. We have to always seek and challenge what is the meaningfulness. What does it mean to make something better? I will end this up with a very concrete example of what it is that I mean. Soap. Actually, in I think it was 1837, there was a doctor called Semmelweis who had this really cooked up ideas that doctors should wash their hands. And he worked in a hospital where he could see that when doctors went from the maternity ward into dissecting dead people, then there were a lot of these mothers who were giving birth to children that would die because the doctor didn't wash their hands. So he had this crazy idea that doctors should actually wash their hands. And when they did that, he actually saw that a lot of women and children survived. So he went to his fellow doctors and said, I have this very crazy idea about that you should use this new thing called soap to wash your hands. And what did they say? They say, are you crazy? We are doctors. We are clean. It's these unfilthy women who are giving birth that are filthy and disgusting. I'm not disgusting. I'm a doctor. It took 20 years for this guy, Semmelweis, to convince people that they should wash their hands. And actually he didn't. He was... I know that people say that he was actually quite an idiot and he was shouting and he was not very good at making a grander vision and constructivism that people want to follow. But recently I have learned that we could actually cut all the diseases in developing countries in half just by having people wash their hands. Even better, it doesn't mean that you have to have some kind of like antiseptic soap, just soap will do. So what's the point in that? The point is, the world does not need more soap. The world needs better soap solutions. We don't need people using their magic in turning soap into something with coffee sprinkled on top or added lavender or these stupid little plastic fish inside that will make your kids go, oh, mommy, I really want to have that. The world does not need more soap. The world does not need people who use their magic in trying to convince people that they need more plastic garbage. The world needs people who want to come together to make organizations and businesses that are proud of making a good sustainable product, but then distributing, making new business model, making something that will attract people, making them want to buy quality, making them love craftsmanship, making them feel something about themselves. And I think that when working with eco stuff and wanting to contribute to the world, we shouldn't despair it when we meet people who don't believe in that dream. I think that Star Wars is a great metaphor. It's really, really hard to do something better if you're sitting in the canteen of the Death Star with your little white helmet on, and then you have an idea for making the world a better place, and then your fellow stormtroopers say, oh, you should go and pitch that idea to Darth Vader, and you go, woohoo, I will go to Darth Vader, the CEO, and he goes, oh, and then you say, okay, just go back to the gallows and with everybody else just row more. I can't handle it. I will go on mental retirement. We should all, from now on, think like Jedis. And we might live on the ice planet Hoth, but at least we are doing the right things. We're doing better, more constructive things, and it might be an uphill battle. But maybe that's the battle that our generation had to take, and maybe it will be much easier for our kids, because we took this grand battle against bureaucracy and mainstream thinking and this whole capitalism that are turning the earth down the drain. So maybe we shouldn't look so much at the problems. Maybe we should not look so much at the dragon, but we should look at the opportunity for us all to become knights, men and women, to become these knights that are taking the battle to turn organizations around so that they can measure and they can value originality, improvements, constructiveness, and making something better, so that we can go from more to better. And if you can't remember anything about what I have said, and you still want to go out and create the future, just remember that the future is not more, it is better. Always think in your average day, everything you do, is this just more or is it better? And if it's more, stop doing it. Start doing something better. And then you might ask, what is better? Hey, that's the great idea. That's the whole point of it. That's the great question, is that we are now living in a time where we have the time, the freedom and the resources and the means to go out and learn what is actually better. So I hope that I have inspired you, and I would very much love to hear how you have made something better out of your life, because you are here for a reason. And if you have listened all the way through that, I'm sure that we are like-minded Jedis. Looking forward to seeing you in the future. Bye.